Oh, g'day guys, it's Sam here from Built Not Bought, and on today's episode of Check and Tipping Tuesday, we're looking at all things powder coating. I'm taking you right through all the steps it takes to powder coat something on your four-wheel drive. So today we're down at Panther Powder Coating in WA to have a look at this process. Now firstly, what is powder coating? So powder coating is the application, it's an electrostatic application of pigments and resins to give a decorative and protective coating. Now there's four main steps. So to demonstrate it, I've actually got one of my snorkels. It's actually the second snorkel that I'm putting on my four-wheel drive. So spoiler alert if that video hasn't come out, but we've got this set up and today we're gonna go through the four steps of powder coating, which is pretty much you first start by cleaning it, and then you surface profile it, and then you coat it, and then bake it. So we'll get started with all that. Okay, so powder coating is very common with four-wheel drive applications because of their durability and the finish they give. Now, there's a few different ways you can do it to give different finishes, etc. But today we're doing sort of a basic coating of the four main steps because you can include things like priming and preparation because of the surface you want and the finish and the strength you'll get. But being a snorkel, it's sort of higher up on the car and it's not going to get too much, you know, things hit it and stuff like that. So a standard powder coating procedure will be good enough for this. So firstly, being a stainless steel surface, it needs something to key to. A flat stainless steel finish is not going to be good for the powder coating to attach to. So by grip blasting it, that's what this machine here is. When you grip blast it, it kind of gives it a rougher surface and something for the actual powder coating to key to. And then from there, you can go on and start coating it. But before you even put it in here, you got to clean it because any impurities, any previous paints or silicone or anything that can contaminate the powder coating is going to cause it to chip when it's finished. So just like normal spray painting, it's all in the preparation work. The better you prepare it, the better the end result's going to be. All right, the second stage now. So this is the grip blasting. It's sort of like a sandblasting process, but you actually use aluminium oxide to key that material. So it essentially just like roughs up the surface and gets rid of that flat profile so that the powder coating has something to key to. Once the grip blasting is complete, the snorkel is removed from the grip blasting machine. It is then cleaned a second time and blown down to get rid of any impurities, and it's laid on the hook, thrown down to the third stage, which is the coating stage. Alright, so towards the end of this video, I'm actually going to do a bit of a Q&A section. I put a word out on my Instagram for things that you guys want to know about powder coating. I'm going to have a chat to Avaz, who's the owner of Panther Powder Coating, to answer some of those questions. But while we've got a minute, I just want to show some of the stuff that can be done with powder coating. Like what he does here is a lot of the oddball sort of stuff and really cool colors and textures like that. So a lot of you guys probably notice you can do just the whites and your blacks and things like that with powder coating, but there's different glitters. Like there was this wheel he showed me, amazing, a whole lot of glitter in the rim there. So it's a real sort of once-off stuff. There's an old, was it Rolls Royce rocker cover, and it's sort of like a chrome finish. So that's all powder coating. So you look at something like that and you think it's either been painted, but it's got the strength of powder coating, but looks amazing. Like that thing, this thing's crazy. It looks like a candy color, and it's done with powder coating. Camera doesn't do it justice.
So just before we go on to the actual powder coating step, I've got Avaz to take us through the science behind powder coating.
When you deal with powder coat, you're dealing with not a liquid, but with particles and powders. And so what you have to do is you have to first of all take the powder, fluidize it by putting air into it. Then using a venturi, you suck the powder out of the hopper along this pipe and into the gun. As it comes out of the gun, it gets charged with a voltage. And as the particles go through the corona, they then get attracted to the metal object. The gun can operate from anywhere between 10,000 and 100,000 volts, so you've just got to be careful to choose the right voltage for the right application. There are different types of powders.
Yeah.
There are powders which are things like primers, and they can be things like epoxies.
Yeah.
You can get other types of powders which are acrylics, polyesters, polyurethanes, and any different hybrid combination of those. Then on top of that, once you've got your base coat, you can put additives to a clear coat to make some really interesting effects. You can buy powders that are already gloss and they are already satin, but you can also get clear coats that are both satin, flat, matte, super glossy, acrylic, really shiny. So it comes down to you work out what you want, and then you come to me and I'll tell you how we can do
So
it.
even the clear is a powder coat as well?
Yes, you can get
the whole, like, the
you,
primer, the colour and the clear is all powder coating?
Yes, absolutely, yes. In our case, we apply an epoxy primer, then the colour coat, and then if it's a metallic, you should always apply a clear coat over the top.
Cool. Alright, let's get to it.
Alright, let's do some powder coating.
So it was a great experience for me to try the powder coating myself, but I did what any sane man would do and handed it back to the expert. The Vars went through and finished off the coating of the snorkel, and then we got it hooked up, thrown into the oven.
This is the control box. Its job is to regulate the temperature and supply a lot of heat up to 200 degrees Celsius, and the cooking time to get to that point is in this oven is about an hour, and you have to maintain that temperature for around about 10 minutes so that all of the powder coat melts uniformly and glosses out.
Alright guys, so there's the 4 stages of powder coating. Just a simple powder coating today of that snorkel. But before I came in this morning, I put up the message on Instagram and I got you guys to ask a few questions. So we've got the expert here today, so I'll read a couple and we'll get some answers for you guys, and hopefully it'll answer your questions.
Let's go.
There was one across the board actually that a lot of guys asked about DIY powder coating and how much does it cost and what you'd need to do, maybe some tricks about how you can do it at home.
Right, there are some DIY small powder coating guns you can use. They're on eBay.
Yeah.
If you need powder, you can buy it off eBay as well, but if you go to your local powder coater in your local area, they are usually pretty happy to sell you small quantities of powder.
Yeah.
You can use, instead of a really big oven, you can use, not recommended, your kitchen oven. Yes, you can do that because it's got the right temperature range in order to do that.
Yeah.
But equally, you can get yourself, if it's a small item you want to coat, you can get one of those turbo ovens, little air fryers, and do small parts in that for the cooking process.
Yeah. So it's really the gun that you need to buy.
Yeah.
That electromagnet.
Yeah, you've got to get that gun with a little hopper on the top. You'll need a small air compressor to give it air, and obviously need a power supply.
So you can make a homemade, to fluidize it, you can do that.
Well, the gun itself it uses like a gravity feed for it to go into. So it sort of drops in, and the air goes through it, and then it charges it. You can't do really elaborate big things, but you can do small little air cleaners and items sort of about this sort of size. That works out quite well.
Yeah, cool. So Will Marks asked, what are the benefits of powder coating compared to other methods of coating and paint?
Right. The main benefits about powder coating is that if you powder coat it and you make a mistake, you can blow the powder off and start again. Other things are if the powder coat is thicker, and so it has a greater impact resistance because of that. Because when a rock hits it, the force gets dispersed over a thicker film, and it then is stronger in that regard.
Is that because of the coats you do, or is it how thick's a layer of powder coat?
Well, powder coat can be about 0.1 of a millimetre in thickness. Yep. You can make it thicker, but powder coat, when you start to apply it, is sort of self-regulating, and then it sort of says, I don't want to go on anymore, and then it starts to get a bit orange peely and mottly. So there's an ideal sort of layer, and you can shoot it hot, but it's fraught with danger doing that.
Yeah, right, okay. Lugs Electronics, sorry if I got your name wrong. How hard is it to repair after being chipped or scratched?
Okay, powder coat is not the easiest to repair compared to wet spraying, but yes, it can be done. It all comes down to the film thickness and the type of gun that you have. The professional guns are able to recoat, whereas the non-professional guns have not a very good track record on trying
What
to
would the
recoat.
issues be with like repairing? Is it when it gets rebagged again, or is it more or less just sort of
It's
sanding the area?
well, first of all, you want to have the powder coat to bond onto it. So you'd have to key it first, like you'd have to sand it, or Scotch Brite it, or grit blast that particular area. And then you want to be able to make sure that it's clean, so you use an appropriate solvent. You wouldn't use something like acetone, you'd probably use something like methylated spirits, or for the American market, the denatured alcohol, to clean that area before you're applying that particular powder coat.
All right, awesome, there you go. Hope that answers some of your question, guys. And I want to thank Avaz for letting me come down to film this process. And if you're in WA, come down and have a look as well, because he does really oddball stuff. You do all the bits and pieces that other people don't want to touch.
Yeah,
awesome stuff.
So we are a custom coater, but we are as fringe as you can be in the custom coating world.
Definitely the guy to go to for those cool jobs. If you want something special, he's the man to do it. So thanks for coming, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting me come down, and we'll get the snorkel on the car, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Tech Tuesday. Of course, if you want a product reviewed or any DIY techniques for me to cover, drop a comment down below, and I'll try and do that for you. But until the next episode, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Peace. So I've just been ripping around in this thing, you know, on the flat, but there's a jump over there. I'm gonna jump that, but first you gotta hit subscribe.